All right, Michelle hasn't did a vlog in a while, so this is one of my prophetic vlogs. But just to give you an update of what's been going on and going down. Ooh, it's been a whole lot since the last time I spoke concerning, believing God, trusting God, and resources and things like that. But now I'm in the place where I'm there. You literally walking by faith and not by sight. The just shall live by faith, or like this pastor used to say, trusting and trembling about, bills and being paid and this being met. But then I didn't realize all of the warfare that comes with stepping out and, doing what God called you to do, starting this school that you see right here, this banner, going out into the, hedges and highways and compelling little souls to come to your school to get delivered and set free and be all that God called them to be in the spiritual and the natural. So it's been some warfare because of the simple thing that everybody's not happy about when the status quo change. Everybody's not happy when you decide to do what God called you to do. And it takes a level of faith and tenacity and determination to obey God. Because it's so easy to go back to the familiar. It is so easy to go back, to the normal things. I could right now go back to my job, but I know that's at the will of God because he told me years ago I was supposed to have a school. He told me 2 years before, before I start all this in 2021, you better get yourself together because it's going to be your last year in the classroom, a traditional classroom, because you're going to be setting up your own school. So I could not, no longer bypass that prophetic word. And I already knew what it was going to tell. Not in detail, but I knew when I stepped out, it was going to be some warfare involved. The frustration, the discouragement, the opposition that comes when you're trying to do what God called you to do. And sometimes the frustration and opposition is not from the devil. You already know the devil don't want you to do what you're doing. He's going to bring some obstacles. He's going to bring some hindrances, the monkey wrenches. He's going to bring disappointment, setbacks, laybacks. He's going to try to invoke fear into you, into the quitting, and maybe you didn't hear God or not. But then it's, your surroundings and your environment and the situations and people that you're connected to sometimes are not ready for you to do that, particular thing. Because they're operating in fear, they're operating in unbelief, they're operating in other things, sometimes manipulation, usury, and witchcraft. They may be operating in different things and they don't really see where yours is going, and also I had to realize also, and when I embarked in this, all the release and relief that I was going to receive from God concerning all the false burdens that I have been doing for over years, in ministry and outside the ministry, doing things for everybody else, but then not thinking about myself until the last minute. And if I try to do anything by myself, I'm always was distracted. And so when it was time for me to pursue this, distractions came. The same stuff came. But this time the Lord was like, enough is enough. You're going to have to do what I told you to do. And we're going to have to eliminate all these distractions, all these things, all these weights, and all these burdens that people have been putting on you. And I had come to the point, because years ago I wasn't like this. I used to tell people, no, I ain't doing all that. But then it came to the point where I was just doing it automatically. I was doing it because I had to do it. I thought I was obligated to do it. And then, that is not of God. That's a form of witchcraft. That's a form of mind control. And that's a form of, oppressive myself. And I started realizing I was losing less of who I was. My decisions was like based on what somebody else did, and if I said, oppose it, or come against it, I would have all this, extra warfare. I'll have this extra, issues and situations with people and situations because I was coming against it. I was coming against doing extra stuff for people, taking on extra work, extra burdens. Everything was put upon me. And I started realizing, even just recently, that I was doing more than what Jesus did. And do it look like I died on the cross? Because I'm trying to figure this out. Do it look like I died on the cross for anybody? And people got to realize you cannot put your eggs all in the basket. You can't put all your responsibilities, all your issues and problems on one person and then expect them to make history. I was helping here, helping everywhere. And then still, by the grace of God and some prayer, I pray with purpose and power. By the grace of God, that I was able to do, still do work on, ministry, still write books, still do stuff for myself, still go on vacations in spite of the pressures that's put upon me. And the pressure was going to the point where I was starting to, just recently, and this is just keeping it real and transparent, it was to the point where my body was starting to shut down. My body was starting to fatigue. I was getting tired more. My head was starting to hurt like crazy. Different ailments and afflictions were coming, in my body. I was always was constantly tense. I was always constantly headaches, sometimes issues in my head, issues in my body would just come out of nowhere. And I just started realizing that I was getting tired. Some things I was no longer doing that I had stopped doing because I was getting tired. Then, something supernatural happened where the Lord had me, take a particular supplement, and then all of a sudden, I start realizing all the weights, because sometimes you can take on so many burdens and weights and issues on from other people that it becomes a spiritual and natural weight that starts to afflict your body. Literally, it gets ingrained into your soul, your spirit, your blood cells, everything, where it's going to be to the point where it's going to take a deliverance. And I had to realize I had to be delivered literally. And I used to bind it up, bind up false burdens, false weights, false obligations, all of that off of me, but it looked like it was not letting up. I was fighting. And so the Lord released it. And for a moment, I was I was extremely exhausted. I'm still in a process of being restored in a lot of areas, mentally, spiritually, physically, and naturally, because I didn't realize how much I had to realize I was literally in a dangerous place where I was, operating like I'm Jesus and God. And I'm not Jehovah Jireh, I'm not Jehovah Nisi, I'm not Jehovah Shalom. I didn't die on the cross, and I don't have a heaven and hell to put nobody in. But I was put in a role that I was doing everything for everyone, fixing everything, trying to be the fixer, trying to be the reliever, trying to be the mediator, trying to be the way maker, the navigator, the helper. No, that's God's job. That's what He's supposed to be doing. And to the point I was taking on too much. Too much of the pressures of other people's expectations and responsibilities. And for people to expect you to do everything for them all the time, and you don't have no chance to do anything, that's not of God. That's not of God. And so, currently and recently for the past, few weeks, it's been like restoration. And I'm starting to get more enlightened and realize what I was doing and what I'm not going to tolerate anymore. What I'm not going to put up with anymore. And it's important for you in this season to say no. No. Just like my mom said, what rhymes with toe? No. When I was a kid, she would point to her toe, they meant no. You're going to tell people no. You don't have to explain yourself on why you said no. No means no. Or, delegate a lot of stuff to other people, because people will let you keep on doing it until you in the bed of affliction in the hospital with IVs. And then like, what happened to so-and-so? She was doing all of this. We didn't realize. Yeah, you did realize, but you just want to go keep letting me keep doing it until I have to put a stop to it. I have to, put my, reins on and say, no, I can't do this no more. I'm not doing it. It's other things I have to focus on. I prepare to have that long life that God promised me in abundance. And I won't be afflicted, disgusted, can't be trusted, all broke down in my body, mind, and soul and spirit. Taking on stuff that wasn't mine. So that's where I'm at right now, in that place of uncertainty and launching out. And Lord, what we's gonna do? I know that's not right English. I'm a teacher. What are we going to do right now, Lord? This is due. I need to do this and this and this. And He said, the just shall live by faith. That living part. That's where I'm at right now. The faith walk. My faith is being tested right now. And I can't revert back to my old ways of getting stuff done, getting this, getting money, getting here. I can't do it that way. I have to truly trust God in His totality. And I've done it in time past where I trust Him like, But this is a vision that I'm birthing out. And it's going to take a trusting of God. Because He's going to stretch your faith. And He's going to stretch it. So once you accomplish that, then you can believe God to do just about anything. You got to remember what God has done for you times past. If He did it before, He's going to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. He's not going to stop if we walk uprightly with Him and obey Him. So that's why I'm in this prophetic vlog. Make sure you like and subscribe, and think about your own life. Think about what you're not going to tolerate no more. Think about what you plan to pursue. What has God given you vision-wise? What has God given you in your dreams? And pursue that, because you only get one life. Yes, we're going to have an eternal life. Yes, Jesus is going to come and we're going to have that wonderful life. Meanwhile, while you're on earth, you need to maximize the moment and get everything God has for you. Everything. Everything. You want Him to change your life. You want Him to change your ways. Change everything. Your finances. Change everything. Your outcome. He'll do it. And then some. So that's where I'm at right now. The vision. The birthing of the vision. And really, truly walking by faith. And not letting things, when they come, allowing God to help me to walk through it, walk through the process of obtaining what he has for me, walk through the process of this school right here. You know, God's chosen elect academy that he birthed through me. And it's a mandate bigger than me. It's a mandate that's going to, help generations and legacies to come. That's why the warfare is going to be greater when you have a vision. It's going to be bigger than you. And it's not for right now. It's where, you about to go. It's for the future people that you're going to reach. Whatever God has put in your heart and your spirit and your soul and your hands to do. So, be encouraged. Keep praying with purpose and power. And stay in faith.